Something I've been noticing lately is how much of life is quietly built for couples. Not in an obvious way. Nobody says it directly, it's not written anywhere. But once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it. Because on the surface, life feels natural. Things are just things, plans are just plans, pricing is just pricing. But underneath a lot of it, there's this quiet assumption that you're doing life with someone. So many things are designed around two people sharing costs or expenses, like travel, hotel rooms, activities, even simple recommendations. There's often this couple friendly framing built in. Not because single people aren't allowed, but because the default expectation is often two. It's not just travel, it shows up in social life too. Weddings, events, holidays, even casual conversations. There's often this underlying assumption of plus one somewhere in the background, even when it's never explicitly mentioned. And I don't think most people notice it when they're in it, because if you're in a relationship, it blends in. It just feels like normal life. But when you're not, you start seeing all the small places where that assumption exists. And it's not really about exclusion. It doesn't feel like the world is shutting you out. It's more like the structure was just built with a different default in mind, and you're moving through it slightly different. And I think what makes it interesting is you adjust without even thinking about it. You just learn how to navigate things solo. You stop expecting the plus one version of life to be your default. You just work around it. But it does make you wonder something. How much of what we think of as normal life is actually just designed around two people moving through it together? Because once you notice it, it's kind of everywhere in small ways. And I don't think it's necessarily good or bad. It's just invisible when it implies to you, and very visible when it doesn't. Which is probably true for a lot of things in life. You don't notice the structure of something until you're slightly outside of its default setting. And then suddenly you see all the small assumptions built into it. And I think that's what I've been noticing. Not that anything is wrong with it, just that a lot of life quietly assumes there are two people experiencing it together, even when there's just one.